Hello, viewers. Welcome back to our channel, Walking Thoughts Nebraska. We are still here in London and continuing with our London adventure. So come along and join us for the ride. From our videos before, you probably know that we do like visiting museums. And since there are a number of free museums here in London, we want to take advantage of that. One thing you have to remember though is that you want to reserve your entrance ticket in advance. Although it is free, it will be much easier for you to have online reservations so that you don't have to line up to get the tickets. When you go to the online reservation, you're able to choose which time or time frame you'll be able to get into the portrait gallery or the museum, and it goes with all of the other museums too. They are able to accept you after the time that you have indicated there, but you want to be on time because they do count and make sure that they have the number of people appropriate for the building, and then they will allow others to come in. And here we are. We are now at the National Portrait Gallery. Right at the other side of this building is the National Gallery. So we were not able to get tickets for that museum, but we were able to get tickets for the National Portrait Gallery. So come on, come in. This was still the holiday season, so they still have the Christmas tree over there. But then we're just able to go in with our tickets and start with the Tudor Gallery. The portrait gallery is divided into specific eras. This is the Tudor times, and the portraits that we're going to see here are historical figures at that time. This is Queen Elizabeth I, and then there are other historical figures that you're going to see around too. That's very important. That's Queen Victoria, I believe, and these portraits are painted for the historical figures at that time of people who are significantly famous at that time too. The Portrait Gallery Museum first opened in 1856. It was the first national public gallery in the world that was dedicated to portraits. So in each of the rooms, you're going to see different times within British history that they have important people that they have portraits of, that they have collected. So really dedicated to who are the who's who of British history. The gallery houses portraits of historically important and famous British people, like I've shared, and they are selected on the basis of their significance, like how important they are in the history rather than the artist. And then around here, I also recognize two portraits of United States American politicians, George Washington and Ben Franklin. So since they played a role in the British history, they have their portraits here too. And then the other portraits are those that have helped or are part of the expansion of the British Empire. There are some group portraits like this one, the participants of the Somerset House Conference of 1604. Since they are important historical documents in their own right, they are able to have a space here in the portrait gallery, and not just one specific person, but all of those who attended that conference. And then other areas of the room will go back to single portraits of individuals who play a great part or even a little part of expanding their roles within the world government. National Portrait Gallery was really founded by three main people: Philip Henry Stanhope, Thomas Babington Macaulay, and Thomas Carlyle. And they started it. Then the collection grew and grew from all of the historical things or events that happened within the British Empire. Royal portraits, such as that one, are a huge part of the National Portrait Gallery. This is another one too. They show how the royal family plays into the life of the British people, and they want to be able to be present so that they are part of their everyday lives. For several years, around 40 years, the gallery was housed in various locations, and then as the collection increased, they were able to raise funds so that they could have its own building for the exhibition. As they continued to increase their collection, a second extension was funded by Sir Christopher Ondate. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And a 12 million Heritage Lottery Fund. So the building was designed by London-based architects, and a wing opened in 2000 that now occupies this space in the National Gallery and then the National Portrait Gallery. The National Gallery, of course, are not just about the paintings or some sculptures, one or two that I've seen, but as the modern era comes in, they have also started collecting photographs. And so there is an area here that's connected to the photographs. Those are those ones that started with tiny photographs of selected people. So they have collected those. And then, of course, all the other photographs of the famous people in British history as well. So when you go around the portrait gallery, it's really going to be by theme. So you have the artists and their studios, you have buildings and architectures and the people famous for that. They have events and occasions like the conference that I showed you, the huge portrait there. There are film shots, like I said, and stage sets because they have moved into the modern era, like that's a photograph. And there are more photographs of those who are famous that are British or people in the United Kingdom, and then, of course, other portraits of other people. Just the photographs alone, they have a collection of about 250,000 original photographic images, and then at least 130,000 that have original negatives. So they dated from 1840s to the present day. You're going to see it all here. You may need a whole lot of time to be able to go through all of this. So what we did was we focused on what we liked, spent a few minutes there, read through the description, and then spent time on those that we are really very connected to. Currently, the National Portrait Gallery is an executive non-departmental public body of the UK government, which is sponsored by the Department of Digital, Culture and Media Sport. We ended our visit to the National Portrait Gallery here in the modern photographic area. And we're going to spend a few minutes here and then look at Diana's portrait over here, the Princess of Wales. Then we're going to be done for the day. We want to say thank you for always joining us. Please hit subscribe button and like button. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.